Hello, I'm quite short, but hopefully this is all good too. So, I'm 10 years old and I've gone to the local public pool with the rest of my schoolmates and we're going to learn swimming. So we're learning strokes like backstroke, breaststroke, the one with the frog legs and more. And we're there at the pool, at the edge of the pool, and my hair, which is usually long past my waist, is bundled up into a swimming cap, and I've got this patterned swimming costume on, and the pool is cool and blue and it smells of chlorine. And I know that when I shrug my towel off, I'm going to get cold because my Kenyan Indian park can only deal with the body temperature rather than the English element. But it is what it is. So I'm standing there, edge of the pool. There's a boy standing next to me, I know. And he's average, Caucasian. I can't remember his name. He's an alleged nose picker. You know the drill. He does his thing. I'll do mine. It's all good. Anyway, he turns around and he looks at me. And then, in as loud as a voice as a 10-year-old can have, he says, "Dhruti, you're really hairy." There's no time to think. The teacher blows the whistle and we all have to jump in. And rather than focus on the stroke like everybody else, I'm like, why am I so much hairier than everybody else in this class, including the boys? And I look over at him and he's all right. He's just having a bit of fun. He doesn't care. But I do. But then we're back in the changing rooms and I'm casting these furtive glances at these, dark emerging hairs, these that are all on my body. And I'm wondering, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, I don't want to go back home and tell my family. I just want to hide. But we live in a small, tiny house and there's nowhere to hide. So I do the next best thing and I go upstairs and I flop on my mattress. And I look over at my bookshelf and I pick up the first book that comes to hand. And it's White Fang by Jack London. Now, this is a coming-of-age story for a high-content wolf dog. And I'd been given this book 2 years previously and I'd fallen in love with it. But this time, there was something different. I just couldn't put it down. I took it downstairs to dinner. I sneaked it back upstairs past my mum and I stayed up all night using the streetlight outside my box room bedroom window to devour page after page after page. I identify with that wolf dog, that high-content wolf dog. He's an outsider. So am I. I've been brought up in the Jain faith, which there's not many of us around anyway in the world. I'm vegetarian, been born vegetarian, and it's way before it's fashionable. And I'm brown in a very white-centric world, so I already feel quite different. And I read this book, and I think, that White Fang, he knows what to do. In a very cruel human world, White Fang uses his cunning, he uses his smarts in order to navigate what's going on. I'm going to be like White Fang. I am going to be known as the girl who reads, rather than the girl with the hairy body. It's all good. And then it's that moment, though, in the pool where I've clearly realised I'm objectified. I read that word. It's good. And I then moved from primary school to secondary school. I moved from wearing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle jeans and shorts to MC Hammer baggy trousers and leggings. They go with my uniform of baggy T-shirts. And whenever I'm wearing Indian clothes, which can be super, super bling, luckily, it's not too revealing. So all that hair, it remains hidden. But I spend a lot of my teens wandering around my part of London looking for a cheap deal at the Indian beauty shops that they have, trying to get my eyebrows threaded, my upper lip waxed, my arm hairs removed somehow, my leg hairs, whatever can be removed. But I'm not alone in this. It seems like every single pupil in my girls' school feel duty-bound to be smooth. I find it really weird because some of them don't have any hair at all, it seems. But there you go. But I seem to have the most resilient hair in the world. Like Mother Nature and genetics in puberty just go wild. So whereas it seems like everybody else seems to glow up with this soft, fine fuzz known as vellus, I get dark, wiry, terminal hairs everywhere. And it's really, really frustrating. Like waxing, shaving, IPL, laser, sugaring, this thing that you do with sandpapery thing, mitts, I don't understand. It doesn't matter what I do, it comes back. It's bloody annoying, especially when I keep accidentally cutting myself. And there comes a point, fast forward a few years, I'm in my 20s, finally got a job, doesn't pay very well, but I spend quite a lot of the money that I do have on trying to remove hair, and the latest bout of laser has failed again. And it's not fair. My friends don't have to do this, and to be perfectly frank, I'm having a bit of a pity party, being miserable, and I'm back at home, back in that same box room bedroom. Things have changed, it's purple rather than blue now. But what can I do? So I turn around, pick up a book from my bookshelf, and it's that same childhood copy of White Fang. And I fall back in love again. And in White Fang, hair is actually mentioned quite a lot. White Fang uses his hair, it bristles to make him look bigger. His pelage, his fur coat, it's grey compared to his brothers and sisters who have red hair. So I'm reading this, and the journalist instinct kicks in. Whoa, I've got to go and read more about this wolf hair. What's going on here? Did you know that wolves have guard hair? And it's what gives them the colour that they are. So black, brown, grey, red, white. But it's also quite oily. It's made up of these hollow shafts, and what it does is it protects the undercoat, and that's what also regulates the temperature of the wolf. Cool, right? Or should I say warm? And I go back and I'm reading White Fang again, and start looking at my androgenic hairs, and it's wait, hold on a minute. So the wolves have hair for a reason, and I have hair, and when I'm cold, the hair rises and it traps the warmth. And when I'm afraid, the goosebumps make the hairs rise. So it's there to protect me. So why am I destroying the hair? Why on earth am I attacking my own body? What is going on here? This is ridiculous. I mean, you've never seen a wolf try and shave, and shedding its winter coat for temperature regulation purposes is not the same. So the logic wins out. I mean, I'm going to leave my arm hair alone. I'm fed up of the scars that keep coming back anyway. Nope, I'm done. And the thing is, people still do point out, oh, that's a bit gross. And I'm like, I'm really sorry if it bothers you, but it doesn't bother me. It's a bit awkward, but then it passes. Unfortunately, society wins when it comes to the rest of my hair. My legs, if they're on show, then I'll probably shave, but it's because I don't want to be known at work as the woman with the hairy body. I want to be known for my substance. Hairy arms I can just about cope with. It's a shame, isn't it? But there comes a point, the pandemic happens, and like a lot of other people, I get sent home from work, and the news agenda is relentless. Things keep changing minute after minute after minute. And I volunteer to sign up for a team, a small team, and we focus on telling the stories of victim stories, of death stories, of sometimes survivor stories, behind the stats that the government keeps reeling out day after day after day as COVID spreads and spreads and spreads. And I'm at home in that same box room bedroom. For 10 hours, I'll be calling people around the world, speaking to them about their loved ones lost unexpectedly, of obituaries and tributes, of stories of injustice and grief, of legacies, of lives very much full, but very much cut short. And it makes me think about my own life and the situation that I'm in, and about where I want to focus my energies on, and letting go of needless things. And like some other people, I stopped grooming. I mean, I still wash, I'm still clean, I still just about smell all right. But It's at first a little bit of an experiment, and I'll be honest, sometimes when I'm in the bath or I'm wearing shorts, even I'm a little bit grossed out, I have the ick, because seeing that hair grow and grow and grow without knowing when the end point is, it's weird. It doesn't look feminine, it doesn't look right. But we're mainly on Zoom anyway, so nobody sees, and at home my family, they're like, do whatever you need to do, so there's no fear of embarrassment there. And it's at this point I learned that actually Asian hair grows much faster than our Caucasian counterparts, so it works out. Sometimes I sit and watch some films of animals and nature coming back, and as people are reverting back in lockdown, and I think maybe this is it. This is the inner wolf taking over. And also maybe this is where rumours of werewolves came about, in plague days. But there comes a point when I'm wearing this shortish skirt, just past up my knees, and it's got flowers on it and it's got pockets, I know. It's brilliant. And I look down at my knees because for some reason the hairs seem to congregate around the knees. They're really fascinating. They're long and tapered and soft, but they're really much around the knees. And I think, should I get changed? I want to go for this walk, the vitamin D walk, have a stretch. I look at my hairy knees and I think, do you know what? I can't be bothered. Screw it. I'm going to go. And if anyone says anything, they can say something. I live in a pretty rough area. And I put my keys and I put my money into my pocket. I open the door and head outside. And for the first time in many, many years, my hairy knees get to see the sun. And I go for a walk, only around the block, so about 10 or 20 minutes. And although it feels a little bit like a tickle, it feels really, really good. Thank you.